to the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause. We doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar, point you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. And thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on
Once again, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Man Talk Mondays. We are in the house. We in your house.
Woo-woo! We in there for real this time. We not just saying it. We in there this time.
We are in your house tonight.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And we want to we appreciate everybody joining in, showing love. We appreciate all that. So I'm Derek, the Thought Engineer, here with my man, comedian John Yogi. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I am doing good. Shut the door on trick-or-treaters last night, and they kept coming anyway. I am doing great. The last one was so pretty. She was dressed up in a little princess outfit, but I was like, all I'm handing out this year is scriptures. So,
what scripture you gave him?
Malachi 77 and so.
I ain't gonna ask you to quote it. Don't worry about it.
That's how she look like this. Like, really? What's good, man? What's good?
Man, I am good. I'm ready to hop into this show tonight. Think we got a good one. Mika said, I've missed this. This intro is fire. Yeah, listen, we got a fire intro. Shout out to Antonio Drake, AD, for the fire intro. Good evening, Miss Yolanda. Thank everybody for hopping on. Miss Charlotte, we appreciate everybody hopping on tonight. But let me just remind everybody, because we might have some first-time people. Remember, this is Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we talk about everything from religion to politics to relationships. But, of course, we're doing it from a man's perspective. Now, keep in mind, this is not just for men. We want everybody to join in and participate. Men, women, boys, and girls, talk to us. Now, how you can talk to us, you simply go into the comment section, drop your question, drop your comment. We can see it, and this is how you participate. Now, we want to hear from you, right? I think you might have something to say tonight. You might have something to say tonight. So keep that in mind, all right?
You might have something to say. Oh, they're going to have something to say.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. Remember, subscribe to our podcast. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Spreaker, a whole lot of other platforms. You can go, you can download it, you can listen anytime you feel like it. And yes, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a Roku TV or you have a Roku device on your TV, you can go and search for the channel BS3 TV. Search for BS3 TV on Roku, and guess who you're going to see on there, y'all? You're going to see us. We're on TV. Mom, I'm on TV. I'm on TV, Mom.
We about to blow up.
So you can catch us on BS3 TV on Roku. So you go in and search for that BS3 TV, and you can see Man Talk Mondays in all of its glory, right? We got past episodes up, just launched it today. Episodes are up now, and we're on live right now.
Right now.
Roku TV,
right now.
live right now.
Right now.
Check us out, right? We won't waste any time. We want to get into everything tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we're up to our segment we call Man Talk About It. Man Talk About It. Now, last week we talked about the Texas House, or the Governor Abbott, was trying to pass a bill that restricted transgender students from participating in women's sports. A transgender boys that transition from boys to girls from participating in women's sports. Well, we found out that the Texas House, they shot it down. They shot down the bill.
So wait, the bill was going to stop them from participating, or was going to allow them to participate?
It was going to stop them from participating in women's sports.
If you trying to do like a field day or something at a school or something just regular, they should let you do it. Go on out there and skip and whatever you do, go on and do that. But if you doing something to compete with somebody to get some money or Olympics or something like that, they shouldn't let you do it, man. That's just you running with you got more equipment than you supposed to have, man.
Right. If it's scholarships on the line, if it's different things, or any kind of prize of recognition, like first place, second place, anything. I personally, I don't think it's fair, because I think you have an advantage.
You do. You got nuts.
That gives you extra power, I guess.
You got nuts, and attached to the nuts is testosterone. Now you can nip it and tuck it and all that, but you still got it. Especially when you at that age where you talking about running. No. As many old men like myself who want some testosterone and we don't have no more. You using yours unfairly. If you don't want yours no more, you need to get yours up to some of these old men that want it.
Yeah, and it can be a safety issue as well. Men have higher bone density, and overall, pound for pound, men are typically stronger than women. And we understand. Listen, we know there are some exceptions to the rule. We know there's some women out there can whoop a dude like nobody business.
Hey, but they was whooping. But they're gonna be whooping us without the change, though. They was whooping us back in high school. We knew who they were. You know what I'm saying? You knew not to mess with such and such because she fight like a dude. She got brothers.
Right. I don't know. I think maybe women are missing out on opportunity to step their game up. What you think?
Man, they should have. You remember in what was the movie? Animal House. One movie where the gay guy was throwing the little gay javelin. They had the gay Olympics. Remember that?
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds.
And he was,
yeah.
They need to have. Listen, we do everything else. We can't have a trans Olympics. We can have some where they can race against each other, man. Come on.
Ben say you got nuts. LOL. Line of the night.
Hey man, it's unfair.
It's a major advantage. It's a major advantage. You got this one guy who transitioned and he competed in the Olympics in weightlifting. Now, I don't think he necessarily won, but he got sportswoman of the year.
And how you gonna get sportswoman of the year when you got nuts? They should say sportswoman of the year with nuts. It should be Ash.
That's what the asterisk gonna say when they. Boy, you stupid.
B, it ain't fair. You cheating, and we just legalized. We just found a legal way to cheat. Listen, and I asked anybody out there who don't agree with me. If you got a daughter or something that's training for the Olympics, and she's in first, second, or third place, and you got a guy that was getting fifth and sixth in the men's trial, and he transitions over, and he comes to compete against your daughter, and he wins. How you gonna feel good about that?
No. And I tell people all the time, never underestimate what a man will do to win. Don't underestimate him. Just trying to tell you, trying to let you know.
I'm just saying that he cheating, man. He cheating.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure. Sports can be a lot of pressure. And then with that, it just added pressure. Everybody can't handle the pressure. As we've seen, we found out that NFL player, what's his name? Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley walks away from football due to mental health. Is this becoming a thing now?
He said he would be in a much better place if he wasn't playing football. Well, let Calvin in on a little secret. If you stop playing football permanently, you're gonna be in a different place too. your zip code gonna be in a different place too, bro. Dude, this is a once in a lifetime thing, man. I believe they got counselors. I really do. I believe they got counselors and stuff for this, man. When you have mental issues, I don't understand I don't understand what's going on with everybody mentally. We've been going through. We didn't know whether or not our lights was going to be on in the house we got home. It was guessing every time. It was hide and go seek every time we came home. But we did all right. We didn't know whether or not we was going to have food a lot of the times. Things ain't always been easy, but we coped and we dealt with it. Why don't nobody want to deal with nothing? Listen, I get it. Your head in a certain space, but we got too many counselors and people that you can talk to. You can just hang up the cliques.
And you got access to people. You got access to people that other people, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't necessarily have access to because you got a little change in your pocket. Plus, exactly. I don't know. I'm pretty sure these teams are now starting to provide that care, or at least, you know, I don't know if they provide it, but you have access.
Listen. Well, why would they not be able to provide it? They got $100,000 worth of NFL players out there. Why you're not gonna give them everything they need? They got every physical weight. They got everything that you can ask for, man. Why would they not have something for you to deal with mentally? It just don't make sense.
So are we tripping? Because is there really a more? This issue is way more serious than we give it credit for being. And people are, you know, like we might be old school. We might be like, man, you need to suck it up and go on, get out there and play some ball. And he could be really going through some stuff.
Now, to your point, yes, I think we are insensitive to it to a certain point. I agree. I think because we old school, especially I'm old school and Marine as well, and we talk to it ain't no pain. Go put some dirt on it and go on back out there and get the shooting. But dude, but I think there is a middle line that we missing. Listen, man, okay, the pressure, if you having pressure from having to support your family, you can eliminate that. If you having pressure, because me and you could switch places, and you don't know pressure like trying to support family on what the common man makes opposed to what you making. Listen, you can alleviate that problem quick. You can stop playing football. You don't have to worry about supporting nobody else.
That's real. You right about that. I don't know if, I hate to say it, man, are generations getting weaker, or is it just that this is now but starting to come to the forefront more?
Well, they coddle more. We make way for it more now than we ever did before. We make way for it because we didn't want our kids to grow up mistreated and beat with belts and beat with switches and beat with shoes and beat with racetracks and beat with anything they can get their hands, attention card, anything they can get their hands on to whoop us. We made sure our kids didn't go through the same thing, but we took away something else besides just that. We took away something else, but that wasn't the only thing we took. Because now they can't, their coping skills ain't worth nothing. They don't want to pay the price for nothing. They want everything. They think everything need to be given to them. So I think we made a grave mistake, man. Big time.
Yeah, I think it's called resilience. Kids and young people these days are not as resilient as they used to be. I know teachers focus on that a lot. Selena says, truth be told, you are still dealing with those traumas that you were exposed to as a child. People now are able to identify it and call it what it is, a mental health issue. Calling it, finding out what to call it, is it still a reason to quit and drop everything, though? Is that a good enough reason?
And that's the problem. We understand that, okay, things wasn't right. Perhaps we were going through some things, but it's another thing to throw in the towel, though. There's another thing to say, you know what, I can't cope with this. This is too much. You're a professional athlete, man. There is baggage that comes with being a professional athlete. There is baggage that comes with being a professional entertainer. Listen, I have been all over the world. I can't hardly go out to Grapevine Mills. People just be swarming me and all this. I get it. It's tough for me too, but you find a way to deal with it. You talk to people.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what if you don't have the luxury to quit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
If there's a lot riding on it, you don't have that luxury. You got to figure out a way to handle it, figure out a way to deal with it. I think you have more resources now. To Selena's point, now that people are identifying it more, you have more resources now. Monique says maybe he would like to go in another lane. He simply chose his health over money. Yolanda say he isn't the first.
But
Like I said, it's a reason to use and get necessary resources to build resilience. Excuse me. You got to build resilience. But I think resilience, to your point, is something you start building at an early age in a child. Meaning, when they fall out on the floor, you don't run for every tantrum and try to pacify them.
You dash some water on them.
So get up out there.
Make them think they drown and they'll jump up off that floor real quick.
Man, there's something to be said about people's head not where it need to be.
It's just a lot more
where it need to be. A lot is missing.
I just don't understand. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's difficult for a regular black man, a regular man, period. And you got a professional athlete though that say I got too much going on in here. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
That's a huge pressure, man, that I don't think a lot of people understand. But it's like I said, there's pressure everywhere. Even husbands deal with pressure, wives deal with pressure, and ain't nothing like being in a marriage, being in a relationship, and somebody's head ain't right. Ain't nothing like it.
See you're right. You're right. But so which head are we talking about? Are we talking about the men? We talk about the women? Or we talk about the men? Cause
we're coming up north. We're coming up north.
Okay. All right. I'm simply saying you on to something. You're on to something. You're on to something because it's difficult either way, man. Listen, trying to navigate through relationships is really tough when you can't control the way that other person is thinking or feeling, and you want to.
Yeah, it's even tougher when it's somebody else messing it up. So we're gonna get into the conversation tonight. We're talking tonight about she's in my bed, but he's in her head. He's in my bed, but he's in her head. Now, it is very evident that this is not something that's uncommon. You listen to songs all the time. Songs are telling you the blues song. Her body's here with me, but her mind is on the other side of town.
The Mighty OJs. The Mighty OJs.
Those OJs? Oh, I thought it was a blues singer. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You got that. You got Jasmine Sullivan. I'm in love with someone else.
Oh, yeah.
See, if I was thinking right, son, it wouldn't be no competition. It'd be you. But
and she talked about how good the man was. Wow.
We having some technical difficulties, but so when you look at all of the songs about stuff not being right, with you trying to be with somebody and they can't get and be there with you because somebody else got their heart.
Yeah. What difficult thing about that is someone has their heart and they want to be with them, but for some reason or another, they can't be with them.
Yeah, and that's always puzzled me, because my thing is, why don't people go for the one they really want?
What? Why they don't go for him?
Yeah, they go for the one they really want.
Oh, they go for him, but they just can't have him. They can't. They want him. It ain't like they don't want him. Now, either money, security, for some reason, it's easier. Think about this. I remember Deion Sanders. I remember his wife Pilar was supposed to be cheating with a trainer.
Oh,
and you thought, why would you cheat with a trainer and you married to Deion? You got access to all that Deion has. Why would you do that? Because it's not, you know, people gonna find out it's not really about money like we think it is. The misconception is it's not about money. It's about who can steal your heart.
So when you get the security, right? Bills paid, you got food in the refrigerator, you can go buy what you want, you can take your trips. So now that you secure, now is it time for you to start looking for that person who you really want to be with, or start trying to kick it with that person again?
Well, I think you just realized you at that point it's not as important as I thought it was. It don't mean as much to me because I'm not truly happy. And we put way more emphasis on truly being happy after we in a relationship or married to somebody than we do before.
You're right. But why don't we put the emphasis on the front end? Because we're like, you setting people up for failure. So why not be straight with people up front?
Well, most of the time, we don't end up with the people that we most in love with.
And why is that?
For whatever reason, they with somebody, you with somebody. It can't happen. They're not gonna prove. Oh, I can't let anybody know I'm with you. It's for whatever reason. She married and you not. You married and she not. But we hardly ever end up with the one we truly in love with. I had a friend of mine to tell me that his wife told him, she said, "I'm glad you finally are over whoever it was you've been saving yourself for all this time." And they had been married for like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So even in the relationship, she was still, he knew that she hadn't completely given herself to him because she could tell he was holding back from her.
Wow. Samantha agrees. You said a mouthful, John. So she agrees.
Yeah.
Mika said, "Wow, John." My thing is this. Most people are only good because they can't afford not to be. But the problem is, once you get in there, you get comfortable, the old you gonna come up. It's gonna come out.
Well, it's not necessarily the old you, D. As much as I can't seem to shake this thing in my head. Excuse me, I can't seem to shake this thing in my heart. You know, I love him. I love my husband. I love my wife. I really do. But man, I just can't forget. I just can't seem to shake my college sweetheart. I just can't seem to shake my high school sweetheart. Man, everybody just knew we was going to get together. And you always remember the good things, because if things were as good as you remember, y'all would still be together.
You got a point. And what I mean by the real you comes out, I'm talking about how it's almost as you were telling yourself a lie, but your lie you can only uphold for so long. And then once things settle out and you ain't got to hold that lie up anymore, that person that you really are starts to come to the forefront.
But D, are you really lying to yourself though? Are you really doing that? I just don't feel like you've kind of accepted the fact that you can't be with them. And then later down the line, you think, I wonder how they doing. Maybe I should call them and see.
The devil.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's a lot more common than what you think.
Latarsha says, "I agree with John. The other one never left." Exactly. It's just you knew that person was going to ever bend to your will to the point to where you can have them the way you wanted to. So instead of riding that thing out and dealing with that struggle of trying to be with them, you go and grab somebody who's the safer choice, which isn't fair.
Let me stop you from right. Let me just go in. I'm trying to be nice and mild manner, but you are not gonna let me. Let me tell you something.
Talk about it.
Do you ever hear a woman or a guy say, you know what? I don't want to be happy. I want to worry about who that ninja over there talking to on his phone. I want to be worried about when he sit his phone down. I need to be going through it because they don't tell him what he lied to be doing. You know what? I want to be up at night worrying about where he is because he told me he was with his boy, but I know he probably with some chick. Oh, when I catch him, I'm going to give him hell. You don't hear nobody bragging about that. You don't hear nobody bragging about I can't get no rest because this Negro don't never do what he's supposed to do. Oh, I can't get no rest because every time she sees somebody, they all over her and she all over them. You don't hear people say that. You don't hear nobody say, I got to watch him. I can't trust her as far as I can throw her. You don't hear nobody say that because we'll look at them like we crazy. But those are the people that, listen, I had somebody tell me, say, can I get a close up? I had somebody tell me this. They said, I was forever trying to make them love me like I love them. I spent my life chasing them while I was with somebody else, chasing them, trying to make me love me like I love them. Tell me what kind of sense that make. Tell me what kind of sense that make when you got somebody that is more than willing to love you, but that is not enough. And that's who we are. That's who we are right there.
I mean, shouldn't that be labeled as crazy? Isn't that a mental problem?
Bruh.
Be a mental problem? No, because then we'll give people an excuse.
Hey, wait a minute, D. That ain't the one we want to walk away from the job for, though. We got that one. We need some help with this other. We got this one because we want to do what we want to do.
Watching this video, and this young lady says, the men don't worry about the one who did a lot for the woman. They worried about the guy that the woman did a lot for. If that makes sense. The one that she risked her safety, she risked her health, she risked her sanity for him. That's the one men worry about. The one that's got her heart. That we know he could be coming around to collect. Selena says it's a heart problem.
Yes, but the mistake is we think it's a booty problem. We think it's the dude that come in there and stand up and down on you and throw you up against the headboard and off the chandelier. We think it's that dude. Most of the time, it's the same dude, but we make that more than what it actually is because it's not about that. It's about how he makes her feel about herself. It's about how she feels when she with him. It's about all of that. It ain't just about sex. The misconception that women say, oh, girl, he got to be all this in the bedroom. Okay. Yes and no. But if that rascal can manage to steal your heart, it's a wrap. And it don't matter who you with.
But who is the one that usually steals the heart, though?
The one that can't.
You know ain't no good for you.
Dude, I remember when I was in high school, I had a girl who would not do right by me to save her life. And it just made me want her more. Doggone it, I'm gonna get you to do right. No, I'm not. And it drove me crazy, like it does everybody, because we want what we can't have. That apple on the tree wasn't only meant for Eve. Everybody has an apple on the tree they want to bite of that they know they don't supposed to be even looking at. Leave that tree alone. That tree don't mean you're no good.
Well, here's the difference. There's a difference in seeing the apple and wanting to bite than having a bite and having to put it down. That's a whole nother issue. And the problem is you didn't have a bite of that apple. You didn't tasted it. And now you want to go on a diet after you bit this apple.
Hey, well, I'm going to tell you something as a guy who's on a forever diet. As you on the diets, all you can think about is cookies, chocolate chip cookies with them nuts on them, brownies with the walnuts in them and some ice cream on them. Why? Dude, it does no good for you to be dieting if all you think about it is your cheat day. When I get to do this, when I get to do that, it does you no good to be on a diet. And believe me, I know.
Sasha says, John, man, talk about it.
I'm just trying to help somebody today.
because I'm seeing and I'm hearing too much, because husbands and wives are struggling to stay together, and somebody ain't even putting in the effort because they so tied up with they old feelings, and they done got back in touch with Johnny Ray, and now they can't settle into the marriage anymore. Because here's a misconception. Hold on, Mika says, "Hear me and hear me well. Leave that apple alone." But I'm saying, Mika, you already tasted it. You already tasted it, and you got an appetite for it. But hear me and hear me well. That person, you stealing moments, meaning that you don't have all the time with that person, and you ready to risk it all for what you thought you had. Like, to your point, if it was all that before, then why not make that person the person you with? Oh, I get it. Because you scared everybody gonna call you stupid because they know who he is. They know who she is. And if you go along with them, they're gonna call you stupid.
And we care about what people think about us, D. As much as we want to say, you know what, listen, I'm too grown. When I've laid on that altar and cried and snot was coming out of my nose and everybody knew I was serious, I don't care about what people think about me. Lies, and more lies. Absolutely we do. Absolutely we do. And we want to be with somebody that people approve of. Even if we the type of person that don't deserve nobody like that. We want somebody to pull our hair. We want somebody to choke us. We want somebody to talk to us like we got a tail. We want somebody we got to be checking up on. We want somebody we got to run after. I don't know why we do, y'all. I don't know why. And you notice how I say we. But the only difference between me and y'all is I had sense enough to know you ain't finna kill me. Let me get over here. I'm finna put God in this on me and you so I can get over somewhere and sit down.
Somebody help me, because I need to know. I want to know, why do we risk it? Why do we risk it?
Because we want to be happy, D. We think that makes us, we think that's where happiness is.
Which brings up, I don't think people really want to be happy. Or we've painted happy into this thing where I ain't got no problems.
There you go.
Everything is good. But that gets boring. So then what you do?
Well, one thing about chasing after somebody, it ain't never boring. Relationships get boring. If you with Will Smith and you trying to find a way to get out of it, that dude, a regular cat ain't gonna stand a chance. If Will having problems with Jada, all the regular dudes, we might as well pack it up. That dude worth $250 million. And you would think that they would be happy with all the stuff that he got going with her and that. If he not happy, how do a regular cat stand a chance? A regular cat.
I would definitely say, but on paper, the dude that she was risking it all for, he don't stack up the wheel.
But he don't have to, D, because he came in and got her heart when she didn't know it was out there. He came when her heart wasn't supposed to be on display. He came in, touched her back, made her back move a little like that, and she ain't been no good since. And he cares about it. He talks to her, he listens to her, he does all the things that Will don't have time to do because he worth $250 million.
Anthony say we greedy. I would have to agree with that to a degree, but I think we lie to ourselves more than anything. Mika says, but that would mean that all females think like Jada, and we don't.
Well, I'm not saying that all women think like Jada, but I'm saying it's more women like Jada than what we are willing to admit. Because this stuff don't come from nowhere. Most of the time when somebody is thinking something, a whole lot of people are thinking just like they thinking. And it's nice when we on our little island in our little part of the world, and when we say, oh no, most people thinking like us. And if we really tell the truth, we think some things sometimes that we don't supposed to about people that we're not supposed to be thinking it about. If we be honest.
Yeah.
But everybody ain't like Jada.
So take Sierra, Russell Wilson. You think Russell's still safe?
I think that girl still think about her husband, the baby daddy. I think she still think
about Future.
I think she still think about Future. I think because she has a history of messing with thug type cats, and after a while, you get old especially as a woman. After you get in your 30s, start moving up, you're like, man, I got to do something. I got a son now, and I need security for my son now. So I can't keep chasing behind these thugs because I need security for him. And my albums do okay, but they don't create no security. I need to get with a cat that creates security. While Future still has my heart, because that Negro dogged me.
I have to say she doubt that.
Okay.
I have to say she doubt it.
Well, okay. Well,
I would like to know why. I would like to know why, Samantha. Why you doubt it?
Well, how about this? How about when Sierra was dating 50, Future, and all these people had all this dirt going? You never hear about that. But the minute they think that Russell might be doing something, it makes headlines. We ain't had no proof. We ain't had nothing. Oh, trouble may be in paradise. Really? Where'd that come from? Russell was her savior. Mm-hmm. Russell took her son in and became daddy. But yet we looking for a reason to dog him because she's still. And I know. I'm just saying. I don't believe
it. Levante says, "Turn on lights. I'm looking for her. To my Future." And you get in there. Say Russell, he gets in there. He's with her, and he gets a moment where he realizes, I don't have her like I thought I had her.
Samantha says Russell showed her something different. He did. Yeah, and she gonna like that for a while. But for how long? For how long? You don't think that's gonna get, if you used to roughnecks, you gonna get back to roughnecking. You gonna remember how it was. And listen, and Cardi was on the one that told the truth. It's exciting. Cardi said, I could be with a square cabin. I need drama in my life. Most people need drama in their life.
And what have they said about Cardi? What have they said about her holding on to that dude?
I don't know.
What have they said about her?
What is that? Oh, really?
This woman with all this fame, and she ain't got why she putting up with this dude. For her to have to come behind and make another statement like this and say, listen, I know I could be with, that square cat that's gonna do right by me, but I don't want that.
She just the only one that she too honest. People don't want to be that. People don't want you to be that honest because it may force them to.
Might help some people. Mika says, shoot, Future wouldn't stand a chance. He brings no security, and Russell showed her something different. This is the thing. You're trying to convince people that you really want security. You really want this safe life. But then we go and watch Love and Hip Hop. We go and watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. Why do we watch that? Because we want that drama. We want to see it. And listen, if we was brave enough, we risk it to have it in our lives ourselves.
He talking about everybody talking about he showed us something different. What did he show her? What all he did is try to turn it into a respectable somebody just wants sleeping around. He said, okay, I'm not gonna sleep with you until we get married. And he did that for her. Because that's obviously what she wasn't used to that. Because she wasn't married to Future.
Wasn't married to him. Anthony said, we don't want no smoke. Listen, you think Russell was the first cat that would have showed her how a man should treat a woman? You think he was the first cat that she came across that would have treated her right? It just wasn't nobody else around but Russell Westbrook. Russell Wilson. She just
fell on him. Oh, Russell. Girl, bye.
But a little toxicity is healthy.
Man, he's saying that he may be saying that to be funny, but I think there's some truth in what he's saying. I think people believe that we got to have a little drama for it to be healthy because what do everybody say? Don't nobody want nothing stale. don't care who. I don't care. They said last week that they want you to be something different. They want you to be spontaneous. They want you to have all these bells and whistles from all the time. Well, you know who gonna give you bells and whistles all the time? That dude to that chick that you can't trust. That dude to that chick that you got to follow from work. That dude to that chick that you know hollering at people at work. He hollering at everybody, see him. That dude that won't come home like he's supposed to. Now he gonna keep it interesting because you will never know what that rascal ought to be doing. That's the interesting y'all looking for. Because you want us to be spontaneous. Well, you got to do this. And I just do. Girl, I tell you what, I know what to get you in the mood, not knowing when I come home. I bet you'll be in the mood when I get home then if you didn't know I was coming.
So I want to know, in relationships, is following your heart really sound advice? Is that really sound advice? Well, I would say, you follow your heart. Is that really sound advice when it comes to relationships?
I think that's a great song. I think that sound like those could be great lyrics to a great song or even a better movie. But no, you bet not. Because most of the time my heart want what it don't supposed to want. Most of the time my heart wants the guy that ain't gonna be no good for us or the girl that ain't gonna be no good for us. Most of the time my heart wants the girl that's gonna be really, really good to us, but ain't gonna be no good for us. And we can know that with our head, but our heart gonna say, but we sure love her. I never forget, man. I was trying to get her to stay with me. And she was trying to leave me. And I told her, I don't know how she left me. I say, listen, I can think of 1 million reasons why we shouldn't be together. But I only can think of one why we do. And that's because I love you. I love you with everything in me. And her little eyes watered. And I was like, I almost got her. And she said, get away from me. Dude, and I want, dude, listen to me. My heart felt like that I couldn't live without her. And my head was like, boy, if you don't get up from there. But my heart felt like I had to have her. I had to have her, dude. And I know I ain't by myself. I know I'm not. I know people feel that way about other people, and we mask. We go on with our lives every day, and my our heart and our head is somewhere else.
Wesley quoting Bishop Bullwinkle. He said, "Hell no, no." Anthony say, "Not nowadays." Monique says, "So are we saying we need to follow our mind instead of what's in our hearts? Won't that get us back to wanting the one we truly love if we chose that road?" That's a great question, Monique.
That is a great question, but your mind, your logic is going to tell you he wasn't no good for you then. Your mind is going to, now your heart is going to say, well, shoot, maybe we should go back and do this, but your head is going to say, no, we run from where logic is. And if you using logic, we know what's good for it and what's not. The whole time I was begging somebody to stay with me, I knew they weren't no good for me. I know they weren't no good, but I figured if I could just get her one more time, because we know she ain't no. So again, now if you think with your head, you'll make the right decision if you think with your head.
He said, no, all of your heart will lead you to poverty. You gotta think. And you trying to make decisions with your heart, and your heart ain't in the right condition to be making decisions. Exactly. And the proof is, look who you running after. Because if you got them, if you wrestled them down and you got them where you wanted them, I've seen this happen.
You don't want them no more.
The dude is, he all over the place. And, she know he ain't no good. She'll chase girls out his house, out his room, off his phone and everything, and still won't leave. But as soon as he say, you know what, I'm tired of, I'm about to act right. Now I can't stand him. I don't even get around him. What? Anthony say your mind be playing tricks on you. Make a general consensus.
I think there's a misconception sometimes of what our head is saying and what our heart is saying. Most of the time, the heart wants to feel good about what it wants. It wants you to think that it knows what's best for you. But listen, we all know. I guess admitting it is just, It's okay to say, "Oh, I show what's crazy about such and such." But that was it. I'm growing up now. I'm going on about my way. But as long as you're going about your way, because I have heard too many cases where people have been married all this time and go back to that person go back to the person that they was actually really in love with, which leads me to believe that that's what you really wanted in the beginning anyway.
Right. Wesley says your heart get caught up in situations where you should leave, but you stay. Well, Wesley always stay. I think now you find more people leaving. More people are leaving now. And walking away from families, walking away from good people that you could fix it with a little counseling or even a conversation, some better communication, but you rather not because you want what you want. Monique says, okay, how do we fight that logic battle? Reading this book, and the guy said, treat yourself as if you were taking care of somebody else. That's what I said. He said, treat yourself as if you were taking care of somebody else. He brought up a story where this man, his health was not good. He had medication and everything he should have been taking. He never took it. But his dog, he took him to the vet regularly. Everything that the vet told him he needed to do for the dog, he did for the dog, and everything. He took more care of the dog than he did himself. Why do we take more care of other people than we do ourselves? So treat yourself as if you would make a decision for somebody else. Would you advise your friend? If your friend was in your situation, how would you advise your friend?
Boy, you said something then, because we can always tell somebody else what they should do.
Bro, we can see it clear for everybody else. It is as plain as day for everybody else.
Oh boy, yeah, you're right.
With that, boy, man, she for the streets, bro. I don't know what you talking about, man. I don't care. I love her.
Music had a song. Music Soul Child had a song. He said, one of the lines of the song, he says, "I don't care if you slept with everybody you ever met. I would still love you, still want you." I'm like, boy, you lying.
Lies.
You lying. You need to stop that. Hey, you need to stop that.
Lies. She slept with everybody she ever met. You ain't looking her way. Not to have a life with.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, it's true.
Lisa says sometimes it's just not fixable. You have to walk away for your own sanity, no matter how many years you have invested in it. Listen, all right. So I get unhealthy relationships where somebody's getting hurt, somebody's getting beat, and all that type of stuff. But you have people, and stay with me, they pick fights to give themselves an excuse to leave. Some things ain't really that bad. And if other people look at it like, you tripping off that? But they're trying to find something so they can get out without being the bad guy. They don't want to be the bad guy, but they want out. So what they do, I gotta magnify what the other person is doing. I gotta blow it out of proportion to make people feel like they the worst person that ever lived. And the other person really not that bad, but it's because I really want out. So let me create a scenario. Let me create some drama. Let me create this thing that's gonna make me not so bad if I want to leave. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And this to carry home your point. You know, Jada Wood just came public about less than 6 months ago about Jada's affair with the guy, about her entanglement. So you trying to tell me in less than 6 months after that, now it's coming out that she's not satisfied with Will? And wait a minute. This didn't seem to come out when the affair was going. Oh, but now to give yourself justification for doing what you was doing, you want to put out now the narrative, or he can't satisfy me like he used to. Well, let me just let you in on a little secret. He not going to be able to. He can't keep up with. Now, if you were somebody in their 20s, good luck with that. Now, but if you stay with that person in their 20s and 30s and 40s, you're going to be right back to where you are again. He not supposed to Now, if he can get in good shape and everything, but you're trying to create it, you're trying to control a narrative to give you an excuse to either possibly leave him or do something like that where you can go back and be who you wanted to. Because that boy got your heart. And ain't nobody gonna tell me no different. Not only did he break your back, but that boy got your heart. And the heart was never supposed to be on display.
Monique says, aren't they open about being in an open marriage? Listen, people can say they're foolishness all they want to. All they want to. We in an open marriage. Nah. Open marriage is different when that person that you worried about show up. What was I watching? Watching this show. I think it was like The Shy. And they was wanting in an open marriage, open relationship, open marriage, all this type of stuff. But she kept running to the same dude. And he said, hold up. What is this? What's going on here? See, that open marriage stuff, that don't work. Because you're gonna mess up and catch feelings for somebody.
Listen, and I was looking at Laval and Kadeen, and she said they took a break and she started seeing somebody that she couldn't shake. When her and Kadeen was getting back together, this guy kept popping back up. Well, he was popping back up because she was making him pop back up, and she couldn't shake him. And it took us some time to shake him. I'm like, dude, we first of all, we play too much. We play too much with stuff that we don't have no control over. Don't get out. Don't play with your heart with nobody. Don't just think that you can go out there and do what you want to do. And more importantly, or you can revisit some things that you were in before and think that you're gonna be able to shake them. It had you crazy last time. Right. Why would it not bring some friends this time? It's just like anything else. And guys, be honest with yourself. Now you can give me the smoke all day about what you will do, what you want to do. All I want you to do is just be honest with yourself. Because if you can be honest with yourself will tell you, girl, fool boy. Don't you do that. Don't you go back there. Don't go down that street. It's a monster on the other end of that. Don't you go down there.
Mika says in an open marriage, one person eventually will open their heart. Nah, I ain't playing with that. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And the whole appeal of an open marriage is a setup anyway.
Just let me say this. Okay. The premise of an open marriage is open legs and keep it moving. Real talk. The premise ain't never been spending time with that person, getting to know that person, getting to see what they like, listening and talking to them, singing, making up songs and singing to them, having them in your video. That don't sound like open marriage to me. That sounds like a relationship. Yeah. That sounds like somebody's trying to get to know you on another level. And that's not what an open marriage is. Open marriage is supposed to be that we're going to bang, 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 bang. And then you're going to go. But now we can't. You spend the time. Now you laying up in his arms. No, that sounds like a relationship to me. And that guy, and you ain't nobody going to tell me he don't still have a heart. Ain't nobody tell me if she criticizing Will about what he can't do, she's referencing with him.
Yeah. Open marriages is let me hold on to my security and still have my fun. That's all open marriage is.
I say she's gonna divorce him. I'm gonna give her 5 years. She's gonna divorce him.
To my Jada,
I think she's gonna divorce him.
I think so too. I think she's angling for it now. Now I gotta paint him in a bad light. Paint him in a bad light in public. So once I make my move, I don't look as bad. Fred says open marriages is for sex, not feelings. Here's the misconception. You cannot consistently detach sex from feelings.
No, you can't.
You're in a whole different headspace. If you can just have sex with people and not feelings not get involved, you're in a whole different place. You pretty much a sociopath.
Hey, D. Hey, because once you start kissing, it's a wrap.
Boy, you stupid.
Boy, you AD, you know.
Fred said you supposed to be player about the situation or don't get into it. Listen, players fool themselves.
Everybody make up those foolish rules and foolish sayings. Those for fools. Those for fools, man.
Because that same player, as soon as he see her with somebody else, he trying to fight. That same player. That same player.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't take it out on her, he gonna take it out on somebody else. That same player. Man, you can't mix all this stuff and not expect feelings to get involved.
We don't want to have no discipline in our relationships, D.
Boy, say that.
We want what we want. We want what we don't. We want what we want, man. We don't want no discipline. We don't want no discipline, man. We think we can run our relationship like we want to do, and we're gonna get out of what we want to get. But and the crazy thing about being undisciplined, man, is it just don't be in one part of your life. Undisciplined goes into every part of your life.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever you have, if you can manage to keep thinking about somebody else while you with somebody else, you undisciplined. You undisciplined in every aspect, and it's gonna follow you throughout your life.
You know, brother, Will is in a tough spot. I think about it. Will is in a tough spot, bro. I don't care how much money he got, but he in a tough spot. You've been put out on Front Street that you not the man everybody thought you were.
I see. That's where you at. I ain't even got there yet. I'm still on the way he looked when she was talking about the entanglement. The look on his face, I was like, bruh, you just, you know, he looks so pitiful, man.
She would have done it. She wouldn't have done it with Pac. No, because he can't wrestle Pac down. Pac ain't agreeable. Pac ain't doing everything for her. He put demands on her. But now Will
went after her. Will went after her.
He did. She made the safe choice. She made the Russell Wilson choice with Will Smith. That's why I say keep your eye on Russell and Sierra too. Pac was the one she wanted.
Yeah.
That's the one she wanted.
Yeah.
Will was the one she settled for. So now Will and Jada having some limp conversations.
Will just need to get Thug Life tatted on his chest.
He can try. What's gonna work? But he can try.
All right. My final thoughts for this evening is we got to remember this. We're not defined by what we say. We're defined by what we do. We got to remember when people think about you, they don't say, well, John's a good person. If I'm a liar, if I'm a cheater, if I'm a homemonger, that's what I'm going to be defined by. We got to really be careful about how we do and how we do people. Because if you're a thief, they're going to call you a thief. And if you're a hoe, they're going to call you a hoe. And nobody wants to be called or remember those names. So we got to start carrying ourselves in a better way. Listen, I'm human just like you guys are. But the only difference between me is my wife will kill me. And I know it. So at least I know that. Now, you guys better get that rationale yourself. All right. That's my final thought.
No, we hear people talk about the 80-20 rule. We hear people talk about how it's foolish to risk it all and throw something that you know is good or you could potentially be good, throw it away for somebody that ain't even worth it. But yet and still, it's playing out everywhere all the time. We've been duped by this happiness thing. You are the happiest when you're growing. That's when you're the happiest. But the potential to grow is in the relationship that you're in. It's going to require some discipline. It's going to require some work. Now, you got to decide whether you want to put in that work to make it better than what it could be, or you want to throw it all away and start all over again. That person that you really want to be with, start trying to pay bills with them. Start trying to deal with regular life situations with them. And then see if you would make that decision. Because I guarantee you will end up with the same thing. Stop looking outside for things where the problem is inside. Start to work on your own heart and fix that before you make rash decisions. And this is our King Speak for this week.
You know, hey man, you brought about a really good point, man. I just want to say this last thing. You know, you the problem. You the problem. You the problem. Okay, I didn't use that in mind. I just want to say they ain't most time the only thing the common denominator in all of it is normally you.
Yes. Person at the scene of the crime, all the crime scenes. Is you.
Standing over everybody talking about, ooh, he been killed. Ooh, somebody killed him.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You can find us Apple, Spotify, Google, all the different podcast platforms. You can also go and watch us now on BS3 TV on the Roku. So go and search. You can find Man Talk Mondays on the BS3 TV channel. Catch us there. Don't want to miss next week, especially ladies, if you have a guy that you with and you concerned about him, his health and everything. Women, if you got a husband, husbands, if you know you got some things that you need to deal with, don't miss next week. We got to bring it on a special guest next week. He's got some really good information for you. Oh. You do not want to miss it. This is Limp Conversations Part 3. We got the expert edition. Limp Conversations Part 3, the expert edition. You do not want to miss this. Now, we got people talking about, let's take it over to Clubhouse. Listen, I jump over to Clubhouse, don't nobody show up and be upset. If you're coming over to Clubhouse, come on over. We can talk. We can have a real conversation. Y'all better be over there. Better be over there.
We ain't playing with y'all.
We ain't playing. All right. Don't forget, we here every week, 7 o'clock. Don't miss next week. We got a hot one for you. I am Derek, the Thought Engineer. Comedian John Yogi. See you next week. We out.
Y'all be blessed.